Are you overwhelmed by all of your health obstacles and your weight loss journey all going on at the same time? My name is Terry Renaud. This is the Weight Loss Woo podcast, and we're getting into that right now. Okay, overwhelm, right? Maybe you went to your doctor and your doctor went, and you got this wrong with you, and you got this wrong, and I looked at your blood results, and you're fat. And you're like, oh my God, how can I possibly have that many things wrong with me at one time? And how many prescriptions can one person go get filled? Holy crap on a cracker. So as you age sometimes, or if you have, like I know someone that's had extensive, I know a lot of people have had extensive, massive health issues throughout their life. And it's like a sad roller coaster that just never ends. And you're constantly plummeting down. And you're like, wow, I didn't think I even went up that high. I'm just plummeting and plummeting and plummeting. And what do we say in the law of attraction about that? We say that like attracts like, and once you're on this vibration, right? So first we have to look at how can we break the cycle, right? How do we just snap that sucker right in half, right? So there might be a couple more things coming down the pipe at you because of the vibration of the past, maybe the past 3 days. Who knows where you are on the law of attraction and wellness and weight loss journey. Maybe this is the very first episode that you've ever listened to, or maybe this is the first time that you ever considered adding law of attraction to your weight loss journey or to your wellness journey. And what I have noticed is that once you have a weight issue, you tend to have all these other issues, right? Because being overweight just seems to attract all these other things that are quite unpleasant. Yes? Well, that's what I noticed in my own case, right? So, you're overwhelmed. You got this huge list of crap, you got all these medications, and you're like, holy, I don't even know what to do with all this. All right. So, I want you to just be still for a moment and ask yourself and listen for the inspired answer. What is my next step? That's it. What is the next action that you should take? Just listen. Now, if you've ever done any renovations or major home reorganization, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You're like, oh my God, there's crap everywhere. There's construction mess. There's dust. There's boxes. Nothing is where it should be. I can't take it. Right? Like anybody that's ever moved has been there, right? You're cleaning, you're painting, you're moving things, you're placing things, I don't like it there. Then you're moving it again, and so on and so forth. It's a massive undertaking. That's the reason why it's so stressful, because it's huge. It's not one thing, it's 1,001 things. And guess what? They all have to be done today. Whenever we feel like that, like personally, I just check out. I'm like, what? 1,001 things today? No, I can't, no, I'm out. And I'll just stand there in the middle of the room looking around going, it looks like I'm into this and I'm figuring out what to do next, but really, I'm going to go have a nap, maybe a little cry. So of course you're going to say, now, Terry, what if I don't hear that voice? Tell me what my next step is. What if I'm sitting there listening and the voice says, you suck. How did you let it get out of control like this? get your shit together. Right? Some of us have nasty little voices that talk to us. And it's going to change, right? It's a brain thing. And as we start nurturing and picking and choosing our thoughts, the way we choose our clothes, it's going to change. And we are going to talk to ourselves more nicely and more rationally. Okay, so everything's out of control right now. I get it. What is the very first thing you could do? Right? And I'm going to suggest that you just sit there and make a list. Make a list of what these things are. That way it's out of your head and it's on a piece of paper. All right, I have to do this, right? I am going to release whatever amount of pounds the doctor said. I am going to release this many pounds. And I am going to weigh this many pounds. And I am going to be this size. I am going to radically change the way that I eat. Notice I did not use the word diet. Please don't use it. Don't even think it. I'm going to change my nutritional habits. And I am going to release sugar. I'm going to release a certain amount of carbs. I'm releasing them back into nature. Anybody else that wants to have them can have them. I'm just letting them go. Right? I will wave goodbye to them and feel good about that choice. Right? So you wrote it all down, you're looking at it. Now pick the easiest thing. If your doctor said, well, you got to exercise, like, wow, like you got a lot of stuff going on. You need to get your act together. Get it together. Right? And they give you this long list and the stern lecture and the look of disgust. And you're like, oh man, this sucks. Right? And I had a doctor like that for years. And she was kind of flippant about it. She was like, well, you are overweight. You are. And, she really didn't care. She was just one of those doctors who was like, look, I got to say this to you, so you're overweight. I got to say this to you. You got to start. You got to watch that blood sugar levels. You got to watch it. It's going in a bad direction. Right? And then I finally found an amazing family doctor. And 1 month in Rona, she's like, yeah, I'm out. And she has a young baby. I kind of get it. But I was really sad to hear about that. Because she was just awesome. She had an incredibly vast amount of knowledge. And she was a beautiful human being. And I thought, oh, I finally attracted the best doctor in the world. And it's really difficult to find a doctor in Toronto that isn't, that isn't whatever. Let's just leave it at that. And I was so happy, and then off she went. And I understand her decision, but I miss her. And I hope that I can attract a doctor that's even half as amazing as she is. And I hope that she comes back to medicine after Rona has faded away. And it will fade away because everything does. All right. Overwhelm. We're getting back to it now. So do something that's really easy to do. It's easy to go for a walk. It's easy to eat one large salad every day. It's easy to look at what kind of nutritional value is in your food and decide, do I need vitamins? And also, if you're having issues with your bones, there are all kinds of supplements you can take for that. Glucosamine, MSM, list goes on, right? You can take these extra supplements and start reinforcing good bone health. You can cut back on sugar, add more vegetables, and start reducing your blood sugar levels to the point where you're no longer pre-diabetic or diabetic. But you have to at least start. Start with the low fruit, the low-hanging fruit, the easiest thing. You can go for a walk for 10 minutes. If you can do a half an hour, that's great. You can concentrate on all of the positive things. You can meditate. You can release all that stress. There are all kinds of things you can do to release stress. You can get a decent night's sleep if you figure out what the issue with your sleep patterns is, right? If you have sleep apnea, you might need to be part of a sleep study and get a machine. Do and be willing to do whatever it takes to get back on track. Once you make that decision, I am willing to do whatever it takes to get off all of this medication and to get healthy and get energetic and add active years to my life. And I always say active years because none of us wants to add inactive in a wheelchair like a vegetable years. We want to add active years. So always talk to yourself, tell yourself, active years. I will still be walking. I see people in the 90s teaching yoga, right? I saw a guy in his late 80s who started taking ballet. Like, it's radical. It's radical. And it shows you that you are not limited by what you think is reasonable or a reasonable expectation. There are no limits. You do not have to accept that there are limits. You do not have to get into a chair when you're 80 and rock back and forth until you die. You can take up new hobbies. You can start new things. I'm going to assume if you're in your 80s, you probably have a little bit of free time. Maybe you're retired. Maybe you don't want to be. There are people starting businesses in their 80s. Anything is possible once you decide. You have to decide. You have to get committed. You are not interested in dropping and releasing this extra weight. You are not interested merely in having more energy. You are committed to love yourself enough and love your family and friends enough to get back on track. You can do that anytime. There is no such thing as being too old or too far gone or too fat or too young or too much blue in your hair. Whatever. Okay, maybe I have too much blue in my hair. But that's a matter of opinion, right? And you are not limited by that. You get to choose your future. You choose it. You keep your thoughts in alignment with it. Get your vibration higher. Start doing things that make you happy. If it makes you happy to dance, damn it, dance. Right? I mean, if you have paper-thin ceilings and neighbors that like to complain, dance quietly. But dance, damn it. Put your headphones on. You're not bothering anybody. You know, and shuffle that action around. Shuffle it. Do what makes you happy. Right? I want to suggest also that you do something radical. Just say to yourself, okay, whoa, this is way out of control. Now I want you to go back to your doctor and say, best case scenario, what should I do? Should I try one of these juice fasts? Right? Would I be able to do that? Ask them. It's radical. Right? Maybe your doctor will say, oh, I don't know. I don't think that's going to be good for you. Then go to the next thing. What about a juice fast with solid salads only, vegetables only, raw vegetables and raw vegetable juice only for like 3 days? What do you think? What do you think, Dad? What do you think? I'll throw an apple in there. Come on. And work with your doctor. Sometimes when you get off to a radical start and you say, you know what? I am going to do some research, find out what would be the best, fastest way to reduce whatever symptoms are going on. Right? Do real research on Google Scholar. Right? Get real results. Get your supplements in order. Get your vitamins in order. If your body is starving for proper nutrients, take a multivitamin. I don't care what everybody else says. Oh, well, you should be able to get proper nutrition from your food. You know what? You should be able to shop for groceries, bring them home without having to sterilize every flippin' thing before you put it in the cupboard. But that's not what we're living through right now, is it? So, like, I wish it was. Boy, did we have it good? We did. Well, remember that? You just come home, put all that crap right in your cupboard, right in your fridge. And you didn't worry if, if Rhoda touched it or coughed on it or whatever. I mean, those were good days, weren't they? I mean, putting your groceries away, it took minutes. Now I'm setting aside an hour for this shit. Right? So, radical. Right? Think about doing something radical. Do whatever you have to do to get back on track as fast as possible. Right? You can go that route. You can ease into it one moment at a time. You can say, okay, what's my next step? Add water to my day. What's my next step? Walk. Right? Especially after meals for 30 minutes. Right? You walk after a meal, you're going to notice a major difference in your digestion, how you feel, your levels of happiness. Right? Exercising releases feel-good endorphins. When you start moving your body, you are going to be happier. And when you raise your vibration, you are attracting all of the best things. Right? And everyone wants that. So do everything that you can to get happier. Watch stand-up comedy. Listen to happy music. Dance. Go swimming. Do all the things that make you laugh and make you feel grateful to be alive. Hold your grandchildren. Right? Read to your children. Take your grandchildren or children on a canoe trip or out swimming or fishing. Right? Spend some time with the people that make you smile. And I don't want to be rude, but F everybody else. If they make you miserable, you got to leave their ass out of it. Give yourself really small doses. I know I've only been here for 9 minutes, but I just got called back into work. Damn it. I love you. Goodbye. And and I'll be back again next Sunday, maybe, if I don't have to work. Right? Cut back on the people that make you mental. Right? Cut back on them. You don't need to spend time with everybody because you're related or because that's what we do at this office. You can, gracefully just say, you know what? All y'all are nuts. I'm out. Like, you could probably put it better than I did, but that's how I would put it because I really don't care what other people think. What's the most important thing? You. In your future, the most important thing is you. Right? So let's go through it again. Make a list of what's going on and the fastest way to attack it. Pick the easiest item, and then the next easiest, and the next easiest. Or take a radical step, right? Go on a juice cleanse. Go to a place where they have a retreat and they're all eating carrots all day long, right? It's radical. They're going to teach you how to meditate and give you a salad. And you're going to like it, damn it. And when you leave there, you will have made some different habits. And you will feel a little bit better. And maybe you'll meet some people that are in alignment because they're heading to the same place you are. Right? So remember, get still, ask what the next step is, breathe, do some things that make you happy, come back to it, right? Don't wallow in it, right? People have turned all kinds of adversities around, and you can do it too. Anyway, I'm sending you out all my good vibes and my love, and I hope that you'll be here to listen to me again really soon. I appreciate you, and I thank you so much for tuning in. Have a fabulous day.